Martin attacking. And here's Mills for three. No good with the wing jumper. And we reached the end of the first quarter. Spurs lead by 7. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
You know, it's been about how solid they've been offensively here, really tuned in with one another.
Good ball movement, and it's paid off on the scoreboard.
On the court for San Antonio. Manu and Kawhi pulling out the perimeter. Aldridge out there with West, and it's Mills in the point guard position. Russell, he's checked in for the Lakers. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Parker comes in for Patty Mills. Aldridge, no luck.
And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
Here's Leonard following the basket by Kobe Bryant. And it's the Lakers on the break. Russell's running, and he gets it to go.
That is such good work to make this a one-possession game. Terrific steal to get it all started.
And it's one thing to get the steal, but to so alertly turn it into a transition opportunity, even better.
Here's Clarkson. Here's Nance. The second chance effort. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Los Angeles shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. That free throw good from Nance. The Lakers making a switch here. Randall's checked in. Now here's Parker. Pass to Duncan. Stolen by Clarkson. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. And so it looks like the Lakers will retain possession here.
Tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. Outside, Kobe. Out to Nance. Wide open. Not enough on that one as it misses.
I didn't see that miss coming. I mean, he's usually been money from that range.
Nice ball movement by San Antonio.
Boy, even though he missed, you can't give up that kind of a look very often.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Fortunately, they didn't get burned on that one.
Spurs leading by 3. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game instead of being the 6th, they could have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
And a little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. The drive by Russell. The kick out to Bryant. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got 3 assists in the game.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
The Spurs making a switch here. Anderson's checked in. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Boy, I tell you what, the complexion of this game would be completely different if he'd shot the ball anything like he's capable of.
And it's Russell missing. Spurs leading by 3. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. West is checked in for Aldridge. Martin comes in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. And he gets it to go. Green's got 7.
Of all the guys you want to leave open out on the perimeter, he is the absolute last guy on the list. Attention to detail. Know your personnel.
Now, here's Clarkson. Passes it to Huertas. Clock at 6. He kicks it to Randall. Los Angeles needs to get off a shot here. And the Lakers with another miss.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
And doing a great job here just stringing together solid possessions as they build that lead up.
I tell you, there's no substitute for consistency, Greg. You know that. I know it. You can stay in control of the game. They'll stay in control of it if they simply stay good with their execution of the game plan and don't waste any possession.
And there's the foul, and it's on Brandon Bass. That is his first foul of the game. Roy Hibbert's checked in for Julius Randle. And San Antonio also making a switch. Diaz checked in. Goes back up. It's deflected. In the corner, it's Clarkson. Will it go? Good. Great play by Williams to set it up. Clarkson's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Obviously, a mix-up defensively on that possession.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a three-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up.
You know, of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is major smash mouth basketball, guys.
All about imposing your will offensively, getting exactly the kind of looks their coach drew up.
San Antonio making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's the Spurs leading by 8. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
Your safety is our #1 concern. In the event an emergency evacuation of Staples Center becomes necessary, please walk calmly out and away from the facility. All right, Staples Center.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. Kobe Bryant really making a difference.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
And now the third quarter about to get going. Kobe Bryant really making a difference.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
Kobe and Randall, the forward duo. Clarkson is out there with Russell. And it's Hibbert in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's Byron Scott's 5 as we get into the second half.
And the Spurs being the defending champions out west heading into last year, but they ended up 6th in the conference with a record of 55-27, had a record of 32-20 against the rest of the West.
Parker drives in from past the arc. Aldridge's shot is good. Aldridge has got 5.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Here's Parker. After D'Angelo Russell's bucket, Aldridge can't get it to go. Now the Lakers on the break. Here's Clarkson. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Guys, they've had a solid start to the second half offensively. gotten good looks, and they've made 3 out of 4 of them. Well, somehow the Lakers managed to avoid ending up in last place in the West last season. Still, it's a far, far cry from the Lakers teams of the past. Only 21 wins for them on the season.
Hibbert kicks to Kobe. Goes up again. It's rebounded by Aldridge. San Antonio leading by 7. And for the Lakers against the rest of the West last year, they only went 9-43, Greg, in their own conference matchups.
Yeah, and never a good sign when less than half of your wins come against your own conference. The Lakers know they have a long road ahead of them to get back to their years of Western Conference dominance.
Timeout called the Lakers.
Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Ian Kelly, he's checked in for Hibbert. Young comes in for Kobe. And it's Williams in for Russell. No good from West.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
Outside Williams. Off target with his 3. Spurs leading by 8. Ginobili the pass to Leonard. He's looking for West and finds him. Puts up the baby hook. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face.
He's got to be a little embarrassed for joining the Paratroopers Club on that pump fake.
Randall. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those, this lead will start shrinking even further. And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Boris Diaz checked in for Aldridge. Martin comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. The shot by Clarkson, no good.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's cost him.
As Gravy is talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled off.
1:22 left to play here in the third. Out to the right wing. And he uses the glass on the layup. Clarkson's got 10 points in the game.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
And now in transition, here's Williams. Here we go. It's going to be out of bounds. Los Angeles will retain possession.
Yeah, that's a super defensive play. If that gets through, no doubt they score.
And that's why he sold out for it, because he knew he had to make that play. He wasn't going to let them get the advantage.
Anderson, he's checked in for the Spurs.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
He dishes it to Martin. He feeds it to Mills. Just 5 to shoot. West kicks to Anderson. It's tipped. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. The shot by Kobe, no good. Spurs leading.
That's an 8-second violation.
By 12. That's a 2.
he's going to have